Going live. We're going live. We're going live. We're live. Hi, everyone. Hello, 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 hello. Going to give a couple minutes, obviously, for everyone to make their way here, but should be a lot of fun once we all do. So as you're coming in, please let me know in the chat that you made it. Let me know that you're here. Say hello in the chat, just like Abby and Deanna and Hannah and Abby and Deanna and Seth and Blessing Heart and Devin and Jacqueline and who else? Ben is here, Kyle is here, Helen is here, Deanna is here, Beatrice is here, Lauren Clapman, welcome back, Lilzy is here. So many great people. As you're coming in, please say hello in the chat. Let me know if you are here for the first time. And then I want to know, how long have you been subscribed to my channel? That's my question for you today. So as you're coming in, say hello in the chat. Let me know if you're here for the first time, and then tell me, how long have you been subscribed to this channel? I'm going to take a second. Also, can someone let me know? Can you see me? Can you hear me? Is everything working well? I don't know. I want to know. Hold on. I'm just going to share this out. Copy link. Actually, I'll just tweet it. Share. Twitter. I'm going to share this link out so everyone knows we're here. Boom. Tweet. Anyway, all right, let's see. Welcome, everyone. As you're coming in, say hello in the chat. And also let me know in your comment how long you have been subscribed to this channel. That's what we're asking today. April Cross says a few months. Seth says since your Godless Generation video. That's a long time. Jacqueline says March 2017. Nicole, a few months ago. Let's see. Lilzy says, I don't know how long I've been subbed. Devin, probably 6 to 8 months. Ben, 2 years. That's awesome. Thanks, Deanna. Thanks for letting me know you can hear me. Zamarin, 7 to 8 months. Kyle, a little over 2 years. Beatrice, since 2018. Lauren says, I've subscribed recently, but I'm here for life. Love hearing that, Lauren. That is awesome. That is awesome. Brandon Chase says, about a month, 744 hours. Love that. Love that. Abby, let's see, first time on live, been subscribed for about a year, I think. That's cool. Jake Kiter's been subscribed for about 3 years. Let's see, a few months ago. So it seems like a lot of you are actually pretty new. Sherlita is here for the first time. Welcome, welcome, welcome. New subscriber only a week ago. You are so new. You're like a little subscriber baby. I don't know what I'm saying, 6 months. So it seems like most of you are under a year. And then there's a few of you like Gabe or Kelly who have been around for more than a few years, which is awesome. That's amazing. Well, welcome everyone. Welcome to Q&J Today, the show where I hop on to chat with you all and answer some of your questions. That's what we're here to do. I just started by asking you all a question, but now is your turn. Now it is your turn to ask me a few questions. Whatever questions you have today, I am here to try and answer them. So start throwing those questions over in the chat. As always, I do not promise to have all the answers, but I do promise to be as honest as I possibly can with you all. So as we're getting started, start throwing questions over in the chat. I'm going to start pulling those in just a minute. Let's give a shout out to Buckets, who is over on the couch, hoping that I will feed him right now, but it is still 3 hours until he gets fed again. Anyway, I also want to let you all know that today's show is brought to you by the Super Chat. The Super Chat is a really great way for you all to support this channel, this ministry, in a financial way. Many of you support through watching the videos, through commenting, through watching this live stream, and that is incredible, and I so appreciate that. Many of you support through, I know, praying for this ministry, and that means a lot. But for those of you who are in a place where you're able to help this ministry continue to go in a financial way, the Super Chat is the way that you can do that today. All you got to do is click that little dollar symbol that's located just under where you type something in the chat. It might be available in your area of the world. You click on that, you fill a few things out, and then you can give $1, $2, $10, $20, however you are able today. I'm serious, y'all. Every single dollar, it goes such a long way. To give you an idea, I've been doing the Super Chat long enough now where I can say this. The amount of money that it takes to keep this channel going and keep this ministry running, I would say probably 10 to 15% of that comes through the Super Chat. 10 to 15%, which is a pretty significant chunk if you think about it. So just know that when you give in the Super Chat, it makes a huge difference. It also will guarantee that I answer your question today. So if you're able to give in the Super Chat, that would mean a lot. All right, friends, it's that time again. Let's get down to business. To defeat the Huns, let's answer some questions. All right. So Deanna Jordan asks, John, who did you play in Mamma Mia, and how long has it been? Talk about your time on Broadway, please. So in Mamma Mia, for those of you who don't know, right out of college, I performed in the company. I'm a little blurry. There I am. I performed in the company of Mamma Mia on Broadway for almost 2 years. I closed the show with them in September 2015. And I did the role of Sky. For those of you who don't know, Sky is basically the boyfriend of the girl who is getting married. So I played that role. It was a great time. I loved the cast. I loved the people that I got to work with and perform with every day. However, I discovered after a little while that being a professional actor just wasn't for me for many different reasons. And one of the huge reasons was it was because I felt God calling me on a different path. This path, the path of YouTube and speaking and a different form of ministry, I suppose, than what I was doing. But I am very, very grateful for my time on Broadway. I had an amazing time. Lauren Clapman, thank you so much for the super chat. Always a faithful supporter. Those $2, I cannot tell you how much they mean. Thank you so much. Supporting this chat is a true blessing. Lauren, you are a true blessing to this chat, not just through your financial support, but the way that you encourage people in the chat, the way you engage with people in the chat. It just means so much, seriously. All right, let's see. Gabe Sellers asks, how cold is it there? So let me tell you how cold it is here today. You guys. Oh, I was about to be very, very happy to tell you that we had dipped into the positive degrees, but currently we're right at 0. Right at 0 degrees currently. When I opened my phone, it said 1 degree for a second, and then it dipped back down to 0. But we're gonna get to like 1 degree, and then tonight, let's see. It's so cold, y'all. Oh, tonight it actually is gonna warm up. And tomorrow when we wake up, it'll be like 10 degrees. We're gonna get back to double digits. Wow, amazing. But it seems like today is gonna be the last bitterly cold day here in Chicago, which is amazing. Daniel Garner asked, do you remember going to Chrisland? Yes, I love Chrisland. I was actually just thinking about Chrisland the other day. Chrisland is a camp in near State that I got to hang out at a few years ago, and I was thinking about it recently, and I was like, I want to go back to Chrisland. I would love to go back. So, Daniel, if you're still around, have them invite me back because I would love it. All right, let's see. Michael asks, are you staying warm? The polar vortex has come my way. Yes, we are staying warm. Sweet Bear and I did leave the house today. We did not leave the house at all yesterday, but this morning we went to a workout class and we were all good. Chloe Games asks, how old are you? Does anyone know how old I am in the chat? Start throwing in the chat. How old do you think I am? And we'll see who gets it right first. Maybe some of you already know because I've said it before. I've said it a bunch, I think. Let's see. Seth coming in with a super chat. Thank you so much, Seth. I so appreciate it. Seth asks, how do you view the new abortion law in NYC? And also, does the Bible address this issue? So, great question, and I want to get to it. Let's, right after we play this little game here. Let's see. 31, 30, 34, 26, 30, 27, 20. Some good guesses out here, some good guesses. The first guess was actually correct. Anyway, let's get to your question, Seth. So we actually talked about this a bit yesterday on Q&J today. So if you watched yesterday and you already heard me answer this, I apologize, but I want to talk about it again. So for those of you who don't know, there was a law that was passed in New York about late-term abortions, sort of legalizing late-term abortions. And it's obviously been extremely controversial. So there's 2 things I want to say about this. One, the topic of abortion it falls into the category of topics, especially within the church and within faith, where it's the type of topic where it's almost impossible to have a sober, humble conversation about it, a nuanced conversation, because most people are so set in their ways and they believe so strongly that their view on it, their specific view on it is right, that they're actually completely deaf to even hearing what someone else who has a different opinion on it than them thinks. And I think that when we get to that place, that's a very dangerous place to get to. I believe that we should have our beliefs and we should have our convictions and we should hold them very, very strongly and we should hold on to them tightly and we should stand up for them. However, I do not think it is healthy to get to the point where we aren't even willing to listen to what someone else has to say on it. And I think abortion has gotten to that spot. The second thing that I'll say on it, and this is stolen from an article that Sweet Bear told me about, but it was written by a Christian, and she was essentially saying that while she is pro-life, she thinks that there is a mistreatment by the church of women who find themselves in a place where they are considering an abortion. Oftentimes these women, they come to the church and they feel very judged, or they feel like they are forced out of anything else, besides, you have to keep this baby, you have to keep this baby. And so really, when it comes down to it, the church should be the first place women go to when they find themselves in a position of having an unplanned pregnancy. It really should be a place of mercy and of love and of grace, and a place where they know I can go there and there's going to be people who walk alongside me and there's going to be people who love me. Unfortunately, that's not the case. And we know that's not the case on the whole because of the amount of abortions that are happening. And so I would say that the church needs to look inward and figure out, how can we actually become a better solution to these women's situation than abortion is? That's what I think on it. So anyway, what other questions? A lot of people are saying that I'm really blurry. Am I going in and out? Because I'm looking at the stream right now and I am not blurry. So maybe I'm just going in and out. Maybe is the live stream freezing? I don't know. We'll see. We'll see. The reason, I can tell this story. The reason that I am not in the office today where I normally do the live stream, I'm out in our living room, is because in the office and in our bedroom today, I spent about an hour cleaning mold out of our windows because it is so cold. The inside of our windows are freezing and mold has started to grow. So I was wrestling with some mold today. Super fun. Love that. Let's see. Well, everyone is saying that it's blurry. Maybe it's a connection issue then, because I am looking at this and it is not blurry at all. Let's see. I'm sorry if it is blurry or if we're having connection issues. I will not be out here in this position. It might be like a Wi-Fi issue. So I apologize for it. Hopefully we can bear through it today. We do have a super chat coming in from WH. Thank you so much for the super chats. Blessings from Houston. Hey, I'm jealous of how warm it is down there. Oh, yeah, man. Yeah, man. Daniel, I do remember you. Absolutely. And you should get them to invite me back to Chrisland because I would love to go down there again. That would be awesome. Let's see. What other questions can we answer right now? Lilsey says, let's bath buckets in a bucket. Buckets. Do you want a bath? Probably not. What a sweet boy. Let's see. Ben Huber asks, how hard was maintaining faith in the Broadway world? I know some believers in the industry, but I can't imagine how difficult it must be to hold fast to your beliefs while being extremely outspoken. Actually not very difficult at all. I think most people think that, and they just assume that because the entertainment industry is considered very dark and very worldly and all of these things. But actually what I found is that, especially the Broadway community, it is one of the most accepting, loving communities possible. And if they're going to be accepting and loving of, people of all different beliefs and lifestyles, then they're going to have to be accepting and loving of me as well. It's not like they can draw the line because I'm a Christian. And so I actually found it to be a very loving community of people who are willing to have conversations. It's funny, as soon as people found out I was a Christian, they really just started like opening up about their experience in church, almost like they needed to justify why they weren't a Christian anymore or why they didn't go to church. And I was happy to sit there and have those conversations with them. So I actually found that it wasn't difficult. It actually provided a great opportunity for me to get into a lot of different discussions about faith with people who might not consider themselves Christians or might consider themselves spiritual, but not necessarily followers of Jesus. So that's what I would say. Seth, thank you again for the super chat, Seth. That means a lot. My mom and dad separated a few years back, and I'm struggling with this as a Christian to address that my dad cheating was wrong and the fact that God says to be loving and forgiving. What tips do you have? I'm sorry to hear that, Seth. I'm sorry to hear that your family has gone through such a difficult season and that you are still dealing with that, my biggest advice to you, as it always will be, would be to go to someone in your area, go to a mentor or someone in your life who you can have continuous conversations with about this. I think that's going to be really important. I don't think this is necessarily something that you're going to get an answer from me and all of a sudden the light bulb's going to go off and everything's going to be fine. The forgiveness of your father for what has happened, and that road to forgiveness, that is a road you are going to have to walk probably for a while. And I encourage you to walk down that road, but I also encourage you to not walk down that road alone, but find someone in your area, find someone in your church, find a friend, find a pastor who you can meet with and continue to have these conversations with. And then the second thing I think would be to talk with your dad and be honest and say, hey, you know, what happened between you and mom, it really, really hurt me. But, and I want to forgive you and I don't want to be angry with you. I want to continue to have a relationship with you. But at the same time, I'm hoping you can be patient with me on that. So that's what I would say. Let's see. Yeah. All right, let's see here. What other questions do we got? Sorry, y'all, I'm looking for another question. Vara asks a great question. Terry, Vara, Terry, how did you know your wife would be your wife? How did I know Sweet Bear, my beautiful wife, was the one for me? That was definitely a process. It wasn't just like there was one moment where a light bulb went off and it was like, oh my gosh. A couple different things along the process were, one, I had a mentor in my life, a person who is a very logical thinker. He's definitely not the type of person who ever makes emotional decisions. And I was having a conversation with him one time about Aaron and I's relationship, and he flat out told me, and this was before Aaron and I were even thinking about marriage. We weren't even like dating at this point. He told me, he said, you know what I think? I think you and Aaron are going to get married, and I think you're overthinking this, and I think you guys should get together. And I was like, whoa, he would not say that just because like he thinks we're cute together or like he loves me and he wants me to have a happy relationship. No, he is like a logical guy who like, if you're being stupid, he will tell you you're being stupid. And still he said that to me. So that was one thing. I was like, man, that really doesn't sound like him. Is this maybe God saying something to me? And then it also hit a point in college where I kind of hit this point where I said to myself, you know what? If Aaron and I continue to be together, there are going to be difficult times. If you are going to spend the rest of your life with someone, newsflash, there's going to be difficult times. You're going to get in fights. You're going to have seasons where things are really, really bad and really, really difficult. But I hit a point where I said, I know all of that's going to happen. I know we're going to have to walk through all of that crap. And I'm still willing to do it as long as I can be with her. And when I hit that point, I was like, I'm ready. Let's do this. So that's what I would say. Maybe that's not the best answer in the world, but that's my experience. Brandon Chase, thank you for the super chat, Brandon. Thank you so much. $5 in the super chat means a lot. Let's see. Brandon asks, how do you interpret Exodus 20, 8-11 as it relates to the age of the earth? Same Hebrew word for day. Well, let's pull out those verses because I don't know if you know this. I don't have the entire Bible memorized, so let's look this up. All right, Exodus 20, 8-11. Remember the Sabbath day, keep it holy. 6 days shall you labor and do all your work, but the seventh day is a Sabbath to the Lord your God. On it you shall not do any work, neither you, nor your son or daughter, nor your male or female servant, nor your animals, nor a foreigner residing in your towns. For in 6 days the Lord made the heavens and the earth, the sea and all that is in them. I cannot read. But he rested on the seventh day. Therefore the Lord blessed the Sabbath day and made it Holy. So Brandon, when you say same Hebrew word for day, what do you mean? Same Hebrew word as what? Same Hebrew word as Genesis? Same Hebrew word as what? When? Thanks so much, Seth. That really means a lot. Seth says, this is just to say thanks for your advice. Do you believe that a generational curse can mean I'm destined to repeat the same mistakes of my father? Absolutely not. Absolutely, not. No, 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 no. If anyone ever, I don't talk like this a lot, Seth, but if anyone ever tells you that there is a generational curse on your family, they are wrong. They are wrong. That is not what the Bible teaches. That is not why Jesus came and died. Jesus, his disciples, they see the man born blind in John chapter 9, and they say, who sinned, this man or his father, that he was born this way? And Jesus says, no, neither. But he was born this way so that the glory of God might be seen in his life. Jesus came to break generational curses so that, sorry, I saw something out of the corner of my eye. Jesus came to break those curses so that actually God could use that darkness that you and your family are going through to bring about good and to bring about his glory. All right, so I got a couple other questions I need to get through, but I want to get back to Brandon's question. Brandon, so what do I think that specific in the 10 Commandments, what that has to do with necessarily the age of the earth? So I'll say this. I think the whole age of the earth conversation, I understand the arguments on both sides. I understand why some people will say this is so important, because if the Bible is lying here, then how are we supposed to trust anything it says? However, even though I have done a lot of reading and I've done a lot of prayer and a lot of studying on both sides of that argument, I still am at a place where I am totally at peace to say, this is not something I know an answer to. This is not something I think I ever will on this side of eternity. And I'm okay with God knowing that answer. It doesn't, because I can't fully explain the creation of the earth, it doesn't change the fact that I still believe God is who he says he is, and God did everything he said he did. And so that's my thought on and I know that's very, very controversial for some people, and that is okay. I respect you. But it was asked what I thought, so I gave it. David, thank you so much for the super chat. That means a lot. David says, do you think the USA is a good country? That's a great question. So I'll say this. I am very, very glad that I was born in America, and the fact that I was born in America as a white male, it has afforded me so many opportunities that so many people around the world never could even dream of were literally given to me just because of the country that I was born in. And that's something to be very, very grateful for. At the same time, and this is something that Sweetbear and I talk about a lot, there's a quote that Sweetbear heard from a YouTuber once where the YouTuber said to say that the US is the greatest country in the world is actually a pretty dangerous thought, because there are some things that the US is not the greatest at. There's some things that other countries are actually better at than the US. Police, like violence that happens, like gun violence, police violence. There's European countries like Norway that are actually way better at that. They're way better at that. And part of that is because their population, part of that, you know, there's definitely a lot of factors that go into it. But the idea that we as Americans like to say, well, the US is the greatest country in the world, that puts us in a place of we have nothing to learn from anybody else. And the little travel that I have done to other countries, every time I go to another country, I think, man, there's something going on in this country, or there's a way that this country does life where I think the US could really learn from them. The US could really learn from that. So that's what I would say. Let's see. All right, friends. Unfortunately, that is all the time I have for today. I got a lot of writing to get done, a lot of work to do for next week. I have a speaking engagement that is all week long, so I'd appreciate as you pray for me as I continue to write over these next few days. I appreciate each and every one of you for watching, for asking questions, for giving in the super chat. It really means a lot. Today was a lot of fun. Sorry for some of the technical issues. We should be back next time in the office where everything should be seamless. In the meantime, I love you all. Keep being awesome.